education of Moses in the ancient Egyptian secret society. Nobody want to talk about that. They want to talk about how God handed them some knowledge out the sky, off a cloud or something. I don't know. I don't know. I think, people's is confused about how people write books. Ain't no God ever handed no damn book through the sky. I could tell you that. You can go every book that you can buy, every book on every shelf of every library in every school and any university. All you have to do is go to the front page. And when you go to the front page of that book, you're going to find the publisher. You're going to find the copyright. You feel what I'm saying? And when you find the publisher, you can go down there and check who got the publishing rights. You can go down there and check and see who got the copyright. We want to see if God got the copyrights. You see, we want to see who name on the publishing rights. Is it John the Baptist? Who is it? Is it St. Peter and Paul? Who got the publishing rights? Is it Enoch or Melchizedek? Who got the copyrights? Yeah, is it Noah? Who is it now? We want to know. And so you're gonna go down there and find some Neanderthal. You're gonna go down there and find many times they don't even be Christian. Shit. You don't got to be a Christian to have a copyright on the Bible. You don't have to be a Christian. You can make your Bible. You don't even have to be a Christian to have a copyright on the Bible. That's sad. That's sad. And see, and because people don't even check. Y'all die right in the swimming pool. Y'all don't even check. When I get ready, that's the first place I'll go. Because that's going to let me know what the frame of mind this individual is. I want to know about the background of the publisher. I want to know about the background of the man or the woman who got the copyright, the institution. And it very well may be an institution, a publishing company that got the publishing right. What are their ideology? What is their philosophy? Who are these people? What is their background? I want to check into. They're gonna let me know what they aiming to achieve with their own Bible. And when you understand, I'm tired of people saying that the word has not been changed. Yes, it's been changed. It's been changed so damn much that because you don't even know the original, you can't even document what the hell has been changed. You don't even know. Because you have never read the original if there's an original. You see what I'm saying? And so anytime you see a copyright on a Bible, that means it got to be at least 45% different from another Bible. That right there alone lets you know it been changed. You cannot copyright a Bible unless it's saying something different in another manner other than the last Bible or another Bible that precedes it. You know what I'm saying? It got to say it in a different, so they find a different way to say it, from the last Bible. And if they got enough of it that has been changed, then they can copyright it. So if you see a copyright on the Bible, automatically you know it done been changed. And then it says revised and compared. And how the hell you gonna revise and diligently compared and revised? That means you think you could do better than God. Did you get permission from God? Did God call you and say, I need you to do this for me? I need you to edit, because I'm not really that good in English or Hebrew or nothing like that, and I need you to edit my word. How can you do better than God? That's all I want to know. And did you get permission from God? Did you get a note? Is there any verification? So you just took it upon yourself to say, hey, I'm going to do better than this. I can do better than this. I don't got God's permission, because if God wanted to edit his book, he would have did it himself. Ain't that right? He would have did it himself. If somebody wrote a book, who could just take that book and start editing and, who could do that? Just take that book and just start changing it. You can't do that, especially if they got it. But God ain't got no copyright on his book. Or is it his book? Now, when we talk about Moses, see, this is very key. Moses is the most critical character in the Bible because the Bible starts with Moses. Now, this is allegory. I don't want nobody to believe I'm validating Moses, but I'm using the story as it is. And a lot of people skip over. That's why you need a teacher like General Seti that can explain this to you. You see? So the most critical and important character in all the Bible, I don't care which one it is Moses. More critical than Elijah, more critical than Jesus. Because if you don't have Moses, you will not have either or one of the, whether you would not have no Elijah, you would not have no Adam and Eve, you would not have no damn Noah. And people think that they came before Moses, but they did not. Because there's no literary publication before Genesis which was authored by Moses that ever speaks of a Adam and Eve, that speaks of a Noah, that speaks of a Abraham, speaks of a Enoch, speaks of the 12 tribes or any of that. Moses brings these people into existence through the creation of Genesis. I've never seen another book that ever spoke of any of those characters, Ham and Shem and Japheth and all of that. That's garbage. All of those are characters in the publication of Moses. And you cannot put the characters before the publisher. You cannot put the publication before the author. Okay? No matter if the setting of the book is is a BC date, it's still you have to go to the publishing date. You can't go in there and say, "Oh, this happened 3000 BC." When was the book published? I mean, you got to understand when you go to college and you go to school, they tell you how to write a story. You can write a story in the past, you can write a story in the present, you can write a story in the future. That does not mean that's when the book was damn published. The book was published 2026. It could be talking about a story in 3000 BC. But that don't mean that's when the book was published. So when you talking about Adam and Eve, you talking about Ham and Shem and Japheth, Noah, all of those are characters in the publication of Moses. So Moses is more ancient because no other person ever wrote of these characters before Moses. So Moses is the greatest figure in the Bible, in the Quran, and if you expose Moses, you expose all three. He's the key. Okay? He's the key. Now, so once you understand when you understand the chronology of Moses, you understand the chronology of all three religions. All three religions. And you'll have a better understanding. See, you got to understand the concept. We rocking the house right now. You got to understand the concept of institution and research and shit so you can understand how you create, literature. That way you don't just go jump in the swimming pool that ain't got no damn water in it. See, y'all go jump dead into the Bible without understanding the history of the Bible. And that's like jumping into a damn swimming pool without no water in it. So when you understand the chronology of the life of Moses, you understand the chronology of the making of the Bible. Okay? And so a lot of people believe Genesis is the first book of the Bible. No, it's not. The first book of the Bible is Exodus. See, y'all don't want to understand that. Y'all don't want to. I'm gonna show you. how Exodus is, because when Exodus opens up, Moses is a baby floating down the Nile River. Ain't no Torah. Ain't no Genesis, no Exodus, no Leviticus, no Deuteronomy, no Numbers, none of that. He's just a child. They don't have no books. There's no publications nowhere in the world mentioning any of those characters. Understand, but Africa is already ancient. You know, when Moses was born, Egypt was already in its it was in the 18th dynasty. You see, so Egypt was over 2,000 years old before Moses was even born. Okay. So now, when it says, now, when Moses was a fool, this is Acts 23. It's Acts 7, verse 23. It says Moses was 40 years old when he visited his fellow Israelites. It says when Moses was a full 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. Okay, so based on Acts 7:22, Moses was 40 years old before he even acknowledged that he was an Israelite. I don't know how he acknowledged that. You know, after 40 fucking years of living as an Egyptian, and then just somehow he acknowledges that he's an Israelite. The book never says what enlightened him that he was an Israelite. But so at 40 years old, and there is no Exodus, there's no Genesis, no Luke. They don't have no books yet. So you cannot put Exodus. If you look at the chronology of the life of Moses, now when he was 80 years old is when God first talked to Moses. So he lived his life literally 80 years as an Egyptian. That was his primary schooling, his primary education, his primary culture was the one he was raised in. He didn't have, because the next 40 years he lived in Midian, which was still a Hamitic, which was an African closely connected to the Cushite culture. The Mennonites, how does it free us? Okay, first and foremost, if you got 100 motherfucking million people believing that God handed somebody down a book through the sky, and you talking about how does this free you? And you walking around, we're showing that everything that they talking about came out of Egypt. That's what we're showing. You live in a lie. So you saying how does this free you? You believe that Adam and Eve and all of this shit and that God handed this shit through the sky, and you got hundreds of millions of people, matter of fact, billions of people believing this lie, when the truth for black people that the great civilization of Egypt gave birth to all of this, and that they don't have to go through another man to get to God when they are the ones that created the concept of God. Fool, don't come in here with your house shoes on. Don't come in here with your house shoes on talking about how does it free you. And get out of here. The hell we showing that it came out of Egypt. They took African concepts and edited, misinterpreted, plagiarized, recreated a false religion that put us on the outside of God, that they became chosen in that religion, and we following behind somebody looking at them as chosen when they stole from us and recreated that religion. So we have to free ourselves by giving up that goddamn not old news. You understand? For who? It's 100 million motherfuckers out there that ain't heard it. So find your ass. If it's old, then find you somewhere to go, nigga. It's billions of people out here that don't know that. So if arrogance and ignorance at the same time is like sprinkling sugar on shit. It don't, you can still smell the shit. You got to think for other people outside of yourself. Okay then, well goddamn it, 1 + 1 = 2. And they still teaching that in school right now the motherfucking day. Is that old news? Huh? They still in there teaching people ABC, ABC. Is that old news? There's a whole lot of people that don't know it. So you don't know what you're talking about. You foolish. Every time you open up your mouth, you show how foolish you is. Right. Where you at? That's right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Whatever. I don't know what y'all talking about. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all is yeah, yeah. I don't know what you talking about. Make it plain out there now. If you're gonna teach, make it plain now. Don't get too, make it plain. Make it plain now. Anyway, family, a lot of them when you get to waking, they wake up, they be, how when you wake a motherfucker up and then they be erratic and shit. Man, what you know what I'm saying? So you got to take it slow on a lot of our people. Anyway, I thank y'all. We just getting started today. You know what I'm saying? We just getting started today. Make sure you click that Patreon link down there. And get over there. We got over 600 exclusive fire video. You already know what it is. General Seti, Etsy, One Stop, KingSeti.com. Let's get it, family. I'll be black in a minute. Boom. You see that? The all seeing eye. I see you niggas. Black power.